Everything is ready now for the start of the qualifying session that will decide who will take pole position on the starting grid tomorrow. The weather conditions are variable and we're really not sure what might happen. At the moment it looks like the session will be wet, but if it doesn't rain anymore, the asphalt could dry out and the times will come down considerably.
Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Manager Career. As we're here in Japan and the Twin Ring Motegi circuit for the beginning of the triple header near the end of the season, and oh, hold on, MacDonald. Got a bucking Bronco there. He just holds on as we begin our qualifying effort round here, this track. With wet conditions, it's raining for qualifying. As you can see, we've skipped as well on time to the end of the session. So we know our benchmark for once in one of these qualifying efforts. So let's see what we can do. We'll do around a 54, it looks like to be right up there. It was good in the wet conditions, not sure about that though. Even though Twin Ring Motegi's been kind of circuit in the past, so you never know. Let's see if the Scot can grab another pole. Look at it, already a second back though in the first sector. Being a bit too cautiously in these conditions. Let's get out the hairpin. Again, top 20 is what we're aiming for. Top 10 would be fantastic. In top 5 would be magnificent. As we've got someone trying to slow us on our qualifying efforts, that Pons. Get out of there, Pons. Sadly, this isn't a track where you can auto crash, it looks like. As I say that, Xavi is down. And a master tactician. As you go into the second half of this circuit I quite like. Doesn't have as many fast corners I would perhaps like, but good challenge. Lots of heavy braking. And now this long back straight. And again, we're still under a second back. MacDonald holding that gap, which is pretty good. So we rake around 150 metres downhill into the right hander, trail braking it through. And then get on the power, don't hit that inside curb, we don't want another bucking Bronco. This final chicane. Going slightly wide, MacDonald on the exit. Gets it in second gear, which might be ideal as you head towards the line. And do a 54.4. Good enough for the second row at the moment. Very good from MacDonald. As we return to the pit and proceed. And skip the remainder of the time. And it is a second row starting position for MacDonald alongside Piscini and Oliveira as Marcus grabs pole just ahead of Luti and Morbidelli. With on the third row, we've got Baldazzi and the home hero Nakagami ahead of Shirota. And then on the fourth row, running out of the top 10 is Xavi ahead of Kent and Marini. As looking further backwards, Vanda in 22nd, leading the 8th row ahead of Raffin and Corsi. So not a bad result as the other home hero Nakashima is on the 10th row alongside Paoli and Edgar Pons in 29th with the Spaniard right at the back. So a very good qualifying for Elusive. But can the race work out? Well, as we look at the grid, and there is light still on the first page. I haven't said that often this season, but good to see him right up there. And again, conditions in the ground, it may not be raining, but it's still wet, and these are conditions that MacDonald loves, so it should be a very good race for him. And I've probably jinxed it already, as there's Magnum leading the 8th row. So look further down, we've got a couple of pages to go through. Not used to this after qualifying. As there right at the back is the Spaniard.
The riders have taken up their positions on the starting grid at Motegi and are preparing to face one of the most demanding Grand Prix on the entire calendar.
Oh yes, it's going to be very tough, but you can see Light's still got to clear onto the first corner. He can nip down the inside of that Mark VDS rider of Morbidelli. So Light's up here and go out for this 6-lap race. And he can just race by them. He's in the lead. Heading into the first corner. It's not a long run. But what a fantastic getaway for the Scot. And for 6 laps, it could get very lonely if as form from the past dictates. But we'll see around here. Normally our opponents have pretty decent race pace as Marquez ahead of Oliveira. With Morbidelli in second, Luti has dropped back. We're taking it easy in the hairpin. Got the power decently enough now as we go through the fast right. Just about taking that smoothly. Now into the left. Want to take that in third, but I've got to get it down to second as Morbidelli now half a second back. And it's the second after the lap where MacDonald will clinch back that time, as you saw in this qualifying effort. First half, especially that first sector, will be very difficult for him against his opponents. So it could be a seesaw battle as I say that, is that rain falling? Am I dreaming? Oh, please don't say I'm dreaming. I'm not. It is rain falling, it is exactly like Silverstone. So buckle in for story time rather than race time as, oh, he almost gets clattered into the back of by Morbidelli. There's MacDonald to go into the final chicane. Smooth on the power, and look at that exit, beautiful. As we go on to the second lap, it's MacDonald leading in wet conditions. How many times have I said that in the past? I think every wet race he's done. He does the fast lap, 56.1. Oliveira in third, ahead of Marquez. Oh, Marquez is down though. The championship leader is down. Oh, that could open up for Morbidelli. And Oliveira as well to get back into it. What a big incident. Japan often does it. We saw it last year with Kennett in Moto 3. We've seen it this season in Moto 2 with Marquez. The championship leader is down. And Morbidelli is second and Oliveira is third. They'll be calling back big points on him. Even Luti could perhaps hang on in there in the title battle. I know he's some way back, but to keep his aspirations alive for a further race. So MacDonald's actually saving Marquez's bacon here by leading and taking the big 25 points instead of someone like Morbidelli or Oliveira. Gets out the hairpin in first gear. See tyre wear non-existent in this race. Good to see as all Pons is down. I believe that's Axel Pons from 16th. Battling for a point. Now he's battling not to be last. As we've got under a 2-second lead ahead of Morbidelli. Oliveira some way back in, it looks like. No, it's just not updating. So he's not racing away with it round here. I told you, race pace is a bit better for opponents than qualifying pace around here. Even though, as you can see, the track is soaked. It should be a boat race rather than a bike one. But to go on to the third lap of the race, they've got a big crowd though that's turned up. Despite the wet conditions, I love their racing in Japan. And 2 wheels, 4 wheels, drifting, Super GT, Le Mans, anything Super Formula, and of course F1 as well, apart from MotoGP as MacDonald did a fast lap that previous lap, no surprise. Going to short shift up to third here to save that rear tyre. You know, tyre wear is an issue, also you know smoother application of power. Got 2.5 second lead over Morbidelli. Perhaps not as balls out as he was in Silverstone. Just trying to be so smooth this race and just keep the bike upright after a couple of horrendous races in Aragon and Misano. This is now a 3-second lead over Morbidelli. Really waiting on that power through the right hander, now into the left. Keeping it second gear now with that hairpin. Again, losing some acceleration at the corner, but just smoother. It's a better transition onto this back straight, having that smoother transition. Even if I want to use the curb there, if I had to get restraining order out on those. As he's 3.5 seconds ahead of Morbidelli with Oliveira right behind. They're not giving the gap to Oliveira, but he is pretty close. Again, milestone, another glitch to fix, perhaps. To go into the final sector. And into the second half of the race. With MacDonald leading in wet conditions. Why couldn't it rain every race? Well, probably would have won the championship by now. It has rained quite a bit this season, saying that. He's 4 seconds now ahead of Morbidelli. Does another fast lap, 54.3. Raining Silverstone. It's Saxon Ring as well. Le Mans, of course. First win at this level. Getting in wet conditions, so there's been quite a few wet races, more than usual. Especially the first couple of seasons, of course, well, that couldn't happen. This is a 4-second lead over Morbidelli. As you can see, he's not pushing out at all. Just conserving the tyres and the bike. He's been as smooth as he can be. As the rain has eased up, it looks like. Still 4-second lead over Morbidelli. They are right behind. I'm guessing Lutein 4th. But you never know. I wonder how Vander's doing as well from his good qualifying position if he's in the points again. 3 in a row it could be for the South African. Maybe a permanent fixture on Moto2 team if he does that. So MacDonald leads by... It's bigger. It's almost 5 seconds now. Get down to second for the right-hander. Just Aragon, I would have crashed already. With a corner like that. So now into the final chicane. Easily on the power. We've gone to the penultimate lap of the race. I do apologise once again for it being dull and boring. You're watching. With another wet race for MacDonald, but that's just the way it is. This game is 54.3 now for MacDonald, another fastest lap. That's the way it is with MacDonald, very good in these conditions. Used to it from Scotland. Drink for the old British weather joke. As we end the first set, not even showing Morbidelli's time now. Beautiful reflections there in the water. The sponsor there on the bridge. So we go into Roy the left-hander, taking too much curb. Again, don't get on the curves, MacDonald. They're deadly. Not around this place, thankfully, like other places. Put it down the first there. Shouldn't have done that. We kept it in second. That's relaxing a bit now at this stage of the race. As he dropped just over a lap to go, a lap on one sector. His lead over Morbidelli. It's so great. We're not being told what it is. It's probably around 7 seconds or 8 seconds out. But as I said, the big story behind is where's Vander? He's got to be in the points as the South African. He doesn't mind these wet conditions either. So we'll see as you go on to the final out of the race. Just under 2 minutes to go. There's very tight first couple of corners there from MacDonald. Getting the back end out a bit. You see the rain consistently falling. So it definitely has not stopped. But it's not too heavy. As you go into this middle sector, into this hairpin, such a tricky braking zone. Especially in the dry when you've got a bit more higher speeds, heading into it. But you've got an apex which pushes you away from it. So you've got to try and force yourself into that apex. So it's one of the trickiest corners on this circuit. Second trickiest after the right-hander we're about to come up to. It's all like starting to get a bit screwy on this final lap. Go out the hairpin. That's a bit smoother. That's better. Now down this back straight, and now it is the trickiest corner coming up as it's downhill braking again. Another apex which can be so easily missed. We're doing a bit there on purpose as well, because you've got a bit of a slope as well heading through that corner. So that is why it's pushing you away. So we'll take too much throttle into the final chicane. But it's a smooth application out of it for MacDonald, and it's another win in the wet. Beautiful riding once again from the Scot and elusive rider. After a very difficult couple of previous races, he's won by over 9 seconds ahead of Morbidelli and Olivia, who did the same fast as up in that race. We're separated by just 0.3 of a second, with Lutin 4, Baldassarri 5th, Passini 6th, Savvy in 7th, Bagnaia 8th, Marini 9th, Quartararo 10th, Schrotter 11th, Isaac Vinales in 12th, ahead of Agata, Brad Binder 14th, Corsine 15th, Vanda just out of the points in 17th by a second. Oh, the streak is over for the South African, but another good race from him, as well as Alex Marquez 22nd with Locatelli at the back. As in the championship, MacDonald's into the top 5 ahead of Passini and Baldassarri, even though they're level on points. How close is that? And between Marquez and Morbidelli separate just a single point now with 3 rounds remaining. Oliviero in third, just 21 points back, and Luti is still mathematically in with a chance, but 75 points back, 3 race wins back. You need to win all 3 remaining races and hope Marquez, Morbidelli and Oliviero all retire. Very unlikely. With Bagnaia in 8th, Sabi in 9th, and Marini in 10th ahead of Nakagami, Quartararo, Kent, Agata, Pons, who's dropped to 15th behind the Swiss rider, Schrotter up to 17th ahead of Vanda, the German Suter rider, and Isaac Vinales up to 20th after his magnificent race in the wet ahead of Remy Garner and Xavier Simeon. As in the constructor stands, 119.8 for Calix ahead of KTM, 151 points ahead of Tech 3. I've kind of wrapped up third in the championship, it looks like now, ahead of Suter, kind of wrapped up 4th now, ahead of Speed Up in 5th. As yes, after a tough couple of races, he's letting that elation out, isn't MacDonald? And that rain dance definitely did work before this weekend as well. Kind of always waving all over the place. He's glitching into the matrix, is he? As yeah, the clones are very happy as well. And MacDonald unlocks Valentino Rossi from 1997, 20 years ago, when he was a 125cc rider. I think that's when he won the championship. If I remember correctly, he has Nikin at the race objective for the Moto3 team. Oh, the Argentine rider, a single place out the points in 16th. But again achieved the race objective. So did the Cypriot, who started on pole but dropped to 22nd in the end. What the hell? Well, Vanda didn't achieve the race objective or any points, but again another solid ride for him, up from 22nd to 17th. As he doesn't improve anything, MacDonald improves his throttle management, the Cypriot improves his cornering, and the Argentine rider improves his braking, throttle management and cornering. As we earned a lot of credits because of that. No magic cost, remember? That's what we chose at the end of the last episode, and all of that reputation too. So a very good weekend for Elusive, and next time out we'll be looking to equal and even better it round the Fast and Furious fair piling circuit in Australia. Can Vanda score points? Can MacDonald win it again? Can the Moto3 riders score points and achieve the race objectives? Find out next time out, Southwatch, and I'll see you then.